From Jeremiah chapter 3, return, backsliding Israel, says the Lord, and I will not cause my anger to fall upon you. For I am merciful, saith the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever. I've been really blessed to be in my devotion seeing a lot of expressions of grace and invitation from the Lord in the Old Testament. I mean, we knew it was there. We know God's a gracious God, but it's been really sticking out to me lately in my devotions. And it really began in Zechariah 2, verse 3, where it says, "Seek the Lord, all you meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be you shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger." Whoa, wait a minute. They're going to be hid from the Lord's anger in the Old Testament? I thought God in the Old Testament was this big angry God, right? And that there was no method of appeasing him, right? It just kind of popped out at me. But then I got over in Jeremiah in my devotions, and it's this long discourse about their idolatry, and God calls them harlots against him. They were like betrothed to him, and they were cheating on him, if you will, with these idols and their idolatry. And he says in verse 32 of Jeremiah 2, "Can a maid forget her ornaments, or a bride her attire? Yet my people have forgotten me days without number." And then he says over in chapter 3, "Have you seen that which backsliding Israel has done? She has gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree, and there has played the harlot," meaning committed idolatry, right, and served other gods. But notice verse 7, "And I said after she had done all these things, turn unto me." Wow, an invitation from God after all of this sin, still an invitation from God to turn to him. What an amazing thing. And then he goes on to say in this verse that I just read at the outset of this, "Return, backsliding Israel, says the Lord, and I will not cause my anger to fall upon you." Grace. "For I am merciful, saith the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever. Only acknowledge your iniquity, that you have transgressed against the Lord your God, and have scattered your ways to the strangers under every green tree, and you have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord." He's saying, just acknowledge it. Just be open about it. "Turn, backsliding children, says the Lord, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion. And I will give you pastors according to my heart," he says, "which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding." And I'm reminded also of 1 Chronicles 16:34, where it says, "Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever." I love all these expressions of invitation. Just turn to me, showing grace and his mercy, even in the Old Testament. I don't know what your vision of God is, or what your view of God is. Some people have kind of a weird view of God, that there's this angry God and that Jesus steps in at the last minute and throws himself in front of him and appeases him. That's not the biblical picture of who God is. Remember this. It was not the shedding of blood that changed an angry God into a merciful one. It was a merciful and loving God that sent his son to shed his blood so that he could show us mercy and call us to himself. So just remember that. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Remember that. Jesus was sent by the same God whose holiness had been violated. God bless.